Welcome. My name is Gonzalo Mesa, and this is a special edition of the Church Today newscast. More than 230 American bishops are here in San Antonio for the Episcopal Conference and Spring Meeting. Today's items for the agenda included a variety of debates and votes about divine worship items related to the English translation of the sacramentary. But the bishops also briefly addressed the immigration issue. Let's go with Diane Travis to see what happened in the first part of this morning at the USCCB Spring Meeting here in San Antonio.
We're here at the Hyatt Riverwalk in downtown San Antonio, where the bishops from all around the country are gathered for their spring meeting. There's over 230 bishops gathered to discuss important topics in our church. The first activity of the bishops was the Holy Mass, celebrated by some bishops at chapels at the Hyatt Hotel. Now, the first part of the morning was devoted to the debate and the vote of the Committee on Divine Worship, but they also briefly addressed another theme, immigration. Now, Cardinal Roger Mahoney from Los Angeles requested that the USCCB reiterate to the U.S. government the position of the USCCB in regards to immigration. In the letter that they intend to send President Obama, the bishops said, "Our fellow human beings suffer under U.S. immigration policy. Society should not accept status quo of permanent underclass." So they urged President Obama and Congress to meet as soon as possible to make law by the end of 2009. Now, today's agenda also included the elections to the Catholic Legal Immigration Network Board. The new member is Bishop Anthony Taylor from Little Rock. I'm Diane Travis reporting for the Church Today.
Let me read you more of this letter that Catholic bishops sent to the President. Quote, "Now is the time to address this pressing humanitarian issue which affects so many lives and undermines basic human dignity. Our society should no longer tolerate the status quo that perpetuates a permanent underclass of persons and benefits from their labor without offering them legal protections." End of quote. This is part of the letter that the U.S. bishops sent to President Obama. Another item that was discussed by the bishops was the English liturgical translations. The Roman Missal, as you know, is a text that is used for the celebration of Mass. It was promulgated in 1970. The Latin text was translated into various languages, and the English version was published in 1973. However, in the year 2000, Pope John Paul II promulgated the third edition of the Missal in Latin that contained more and new text. The new translation of some parts of the Roman Missal in English that bishops are debating now hope to be more similar to the Latin text and include, of course, the updates of the Latin text. 4 sections of the Roman Missal were presented to the bishops to vote at this assembly, including the order of Mass, ritual Masses, Masses for various needs and intentions. And the final result was that the bishops approved today the Mass in thanksgiving for the gift of human life, but they also approved the Leccionario, which is a book containing the readings in Spanish to be used in the Diocese of the United States. The other texts did not obtain the necessary votes during this spring session, so the next step is to get the vote of the bishops who were absent and were not present here in this spring meeting in San Antonio. At the end of the morning meeting, the bishops offer a press conference. But let's go again with Diane Travis, who has a report of what happened in that press conference. Diane, good evening.
Hi, Father. Now, the press conference basically dealt with the inconclusive votes on the Missal. Now, the U.S. bishops will have to poll members missing from their spring meeting here in San Antonio before it's known whether they have approved liturgical prayers, special Masses, and key sections of an English translation of the Order of the Mass. 5 texts being prepared for use in English-speaking countries failed to get the necessary 2/3 votes of the Latin Rite U.S. bishops during today's session of the bishops' meeting. Now, the section receiving the highest level of approval, with 159 to 19 vote, with 3 abstentions, was the Order of the Mass II, with its prefaces, blessings, and Eucharistic prayers. Now, the bishops did have enough votes to approve a 6th action in the action item from the Committee on Divine Worship. It's a Spanish-language lectionary. Now, after that vote, the Bishops' Conference President Cardinal Francis E. George of Chicago joked, Ahora vamos a continuar en español, or otherwise now we will continue in Spanish. Now, Bishop Arthur Serratelli of Paterson, New Jersey, chairman of the Committee on the Divine Worship and a member of the International Committee on the English in the Liturgy, warned that delaying approval or failing to send the Vatican guidance by the end of November would risk shutting the U.S. bishops out of the English language translation approval process. He also emphasized that after an 8-year process to get to this point, the Vatican is waiting on the U.S. bishops to weigh in with their approval. Now, Bishop Serratelli told reporters today that he expects enough votes among the bishops being polled by mail to approve all of the texts. If any fail to get two-thirds support, now those pieces will come back to the bishops as a whole at their November meeting. Generally, attendance is typically higher at the November meeting, where the USCCB conducts most of its conference business. For more information, go to usccb.org.
For your report. It was Diane Travitt reporting from the Hyatt Riverwalk, San Antonio, where the USCCB spring meeting is taking place. In the evening today, the bishops had executive sessions, and some will be gathering until the conclusion of the meeting tomorrow. For more information, you can visit the webpage of the USCCB, www.usccb.org, or the webpage of the Archdiocese of San Antonio, www.archsa.org. Thank you for watching The Church Today. My name is Gonzalo Mesa, and I invite you to follow The Church Today every Sunday at 7:15 here on CTSA. God bless you.